Taiga Boreal.
It is Taiga Boreal. Perfect. I'm
Yes.
American. Americans are terrible at pronunciations. Taiga Boreal. What is unique about this region? And here it is relative to the other regions on the map.
It's completely in ice. That's the main feature about this, is that it's very high up and it's all covered in ice and snow, and there's a giant lake that's frozen over and cracked open, and there's things below the lake, and there's a lot of cool stuff going on. But the biggest thing I can tell you, I guess, about the region right now is that we're building it as we speak, and the block out, even without basically anything there, is pretty wow already. So it's very
Okay,
promising.
let's go take a look at the concept art so everybody can get an idea of what we're talking about. And then everyone will have a good understanding of what the regions look like, what they feel like, and just have a basic understanding of what we're dealing with here. And guys, none of the regions look like this. We are in an icy snow
Yes.
environment. Tell me about it.
Well, this is a lookout. This is like the hero image for the whole region. We're at the south side, I think, on the southern wall of the region, looking back to the obelisk, and I think it's called the
The
fall.
observatory, right? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. The observatory, and then the fall is the 1,000 meter high waterfall coming down.
Only
Uh,
1,000. I've had better.
yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. Maybe before we release, we size it up a little. I don't know.
Yeah, 1,000. Come on, give me a break here.
It's too
And
little.
look at the obsidian colored ice sheets to
Yeah,
provide some more visual variety.
yeah. There's this really cool phenomena. Also, just in on Earth, where we sometimes get this sunlight that comes from the right direction, and it sort of illuminates the ice, and it turns it really blue, especially when there's like a layer of snow on top of it, and it's
Mhm.
super beautiful. And gonna try and get that kind of feeling with a lot of the ice here as well, which is just gonna look amazing.
It's not just going to be a generic snow world here, guys. You're going to see a lot of really interesting things. And here it is. The promise is 1,000 meters high. So gamers are now going to measure every meter to make sure we deliver at launch.
Yeah,
Every meter of this, or
I worry.
so look at that fall. That's incredible. The question, where does that water even come from? What do we need to know about this?
Well, I can tell you that, but
Don't. I was.
it's all frozen, and
It's frozen. Okay. Okay.
it's basically frozen. There is probably some sort of a stream still going underneath, so we hear things crack and move as we go down. There's some, there's some cool features about the waterfall if you when you're making your jump down, basically. So
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's sort of an aurora borealis like effect. It appears in the sky in this region as well.
yeah, because we're so high up to
Hmm.
the stratosphere, basically, we're gonna see a lot of cool light shows coming by.
I'm fine, totally fine with that. Once again,
I think
adding
so.
visual variety and pop of color against that white of the snow
Yeah, we
environment.
we really want the world to feel alive in every aspect of the way, whether that's things dropping or the sound, giving you things crack and move when you walk, and yeah, just all that kind of little details that add so much more and making this a very immersive world.
The three brothers. What are we looking at?
Yes. Inspired by Three Brothers, I guess.
Oh, the Warwick brothers. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is a very weird free mountains because they're also very weird. The tops are actually not covered by ice, but there's this very weird, almost black glass kind of thing. And when the sunlight hits it, it sends out this weird, almost holographic kind of color spectrum, color show, light show.
I can. Which one's Karen? Let us know in the comments below.
I think the
Or-
little one, the one on the right.
oh, whoa! Shots fired. All right.
I'm kidding.
All right. And here's the death rows at the bottom of the fall.
Yes. Yeah. So that's also something pretty cool. I'm not going to say too much about because I don't know what is known about these things.
Don't say it. If we're not sure we don't want to say it, don't say it. We just want to show
Exactly.
it and have people be intrigued and understand what they're in for in this region. If
Yes.
they're interested in owning a piece of it or just exploring it or both. Very, very cool. And here's the frozen court, cracked and broken, surrounded
Yeah.
by ice walls. Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of the region is inaccessible from just from the frozen court. The frozen court is like what's below at the waterfall. It's like this giant icy lake, and it's all broken and cracked, and things are actually sort of giving you opportunities to find things between the ice, etc. But there's also a wall that you can't always climb, but there's ways you can get up there, which I will not really give away.
It's okay. There'll be YouTube tutorial videos on how to do that, I'm sure.
Exactly.
Okay, interesting. We're introducing some more of that pink color palette here in the frozen court. So
some,
this is up at like the
show.
higher points here within this area?
I think the ice wall is just not as visible as it should be, but
okay.
Basically on the horizon there should be like a giant ice wall. Yeah.
Got it. Once again, just concept art, guys, to help everyone get an idea of what the feel and the different aspects and elements of this region should be.
Exactly. Yeah.
Very, very cool. Wow. Just look at the colors in the distance back there. I mean, I'm just going to sit there and just look around, be a tourist, if you will, in this region. This is my second favorite right now, I'll be honest. I'm really, really loving our kind of take on the wintry, cold region.
We still definitely want it to feel vibrant. You know, it doesn't have to be as moody and depressing as sometimes it can be. So this is
fair enough. Yeah, Shard Bluff Labyrinth, moody and depressing, if you will. This region, very, very different. And once again, you can travel up, that 1,000-meter fall, maybe. But also you can go down, down, large holes across the frozen court.
Yeah, so there's these cracks and chasms, and there's also these holes that sort of bring you into almost like a tunnel system underneath the ice. And that's also another, almost its own region that you can explore. So that's pretty cool.
Like a sub-region, if you will. Got it.
Traveling through the ice.
Very interesting. And here it is underneath that frozen court you're talking about. What? Look at this.
Yes.
Oh, it's an ice cave.
Magical.
It already is magical. Just look at the concept art is magical. This is nuts. Holy moly. Look at
the light flickering everywhere, and the sound. Just imagine the sounds that you can hear of the cracks and
the
things
reverb and the crystallization and oh wow, and the sound as you step in snow and ice. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Holy moly. Hopefully Unreal Engine has some good reflection engines and what have you, and translucency tools, because this one's gonna be interesting to pull off from a frozen cave standpoint. Wow, that's interesting. That's so cool. And oh wow, we can go even deeper evidently into Podotas. Is that how you pronounce that?
Yes. Yeah, that's another drop into Oblivion, I guess. It's okay. You can make it all the way down.
Was it Crimson Waste we had that opportunity to go down into Oblivion, or
Halcyon Sea?
Halcyon Sea. Okay, so Halcyon Sea had its own algae-ish interesting downward traversal into the abyss. This is once again another slippery, pillarsy downward traversal situation, making it all the more difficult to get down.
Yes, but you can actually eventually get down, unlike the other one. So that's
got it.
And there's another area for you to explore down there, even deeper.
This is so nuts. And here's the bottom.
Yeah. There's a geyser kind of thing going here.
Is this is that what this is right here?
Yeah, there's better shots of that as well internally.
Yeah.
But
it's just concept art, right? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. There's going to be geysers and hot bubbling water here. So this is one of the few regions where you actually see some rock exposed. So you can actually see the base of the mountain where she's standing on, and you see this sort of cool mix where you have this frozen or a molten away ice mixing in with the rocks underneath, and that's going to be a very cool kind of area to be.
I love the ice pillars, the way they feel almost like stretched across. That's a really interesting visual kind of trick or idea there. It's not just stalactites and stalagmites. The pillars are almost feel like they could pop at any moment, which is really interesting.
And then cave in.
Maybe gamers find out if that's what's going to happen there. And then here's Skelter's Maze, or the entrance rather to Skelter's Maze, inviting you in once again with this wall and then a small opening, huh?
Yeah, we're now back up on the surface of the frozen court, so on the lake. And
Okay.
then at the west side, there's like the Skelder's Maze, and it's sort of like a hidden area with a lot of broken pillars that are so smoothed off that they actually sort of start to become almost mirror-like. So going in there becomes just mind-bogglingly hard to navigate and find your way.
Okay. Yet another
Yeah.
difficulty in this very, very difficult and hostile world to be a part of. And then here is just an insane looking geyser.
Yeah.
Elxis Hall geyser.
Yes. So there's also some other cool shots of this one internally. But yeah, this is once you make it through the Skelter's Maze, there's one area that's called the Oxus Hall, which is what's inspired by there's this church kind of thing in Rome, which has like this chapel, and there's like this one hole in the top that always has that light coming in, which is very magical. And we thought that would be cool to sort of have that geyser, blowing up and get that very cool effect with the sunlight of then the water vapor coming down, giving this sort of rainbowy kind of look. And it also sort of washes the floor completely clean, like a ice track, basically, or
Got it.
skating track. Yeah,
Smooths it out as
exactly.
well. Once again, inspired by real life or elements here on Earth in reality, and then cranking it to a 10 in terms of fantasy experiences. And then here's
Dimitar's Cove.
Dimitar's.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry, Dimitar's Cave. Sorry about that. Once again, what's striking me right now is the underground experiences in
yeah.
Illuvium are surprising. I was thinking more overground ones, or we would be going up using jet boots and jumping up, but I feel like most of the freaking game is under the ground, or a lot
Yeah.
in a lot of the regions. A lot of the exploration is underground versus above.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that is always deliberate. It is cool that you sort of
Oops.
give players that extra dimension, instead of
Hmm.
just it. It gives you places to hide things, and it's just a different way, a different approach of doing things. And especially when you have something like a giant frozen lake, like it's too how do you say that? It would be a wasted opportunity to not go in there.
Makes sense. Yep, it invites you in an interesting way to go deeper.
Yeah.
But we give both opportunities, right? We give 1,000-foot falls and the Mount Everest of Illuvium, and then we give deep, deep, deep abysses at the same time for maximum exploration and interest. And Ends Ridge with gigantic structures here. This is almost like alien-esque to me. Was my first impression of this area. So tell us about it.
Yeah, these are the same kind of stuff that are around the fall, the entrance below to the fall. So I'm not sure what I can say about this, but these are very
Say nothing.
beautiful, weird structures. Yeah.
Beautiful, weird structures, indeed. Look how gorgeous that is. Holy moly. I've never seen anything like that. And of course, and here's something interesting. There's a heat source
Yeah.
located in the north of the region.
Yeah. So in Illuvium Zero, there are these fuel fragments called Solon, and this is one of those things. It's actually laying there on melting away everything that comes near it, and it's just sitting there. It's not hot enough that it can sort of melt all the rock around it, but it's hot enough to sort of slowly melt away every ice that's around it. And that's, it's a kind of cool area to visit, to also sort of like visit something that's from Illuvium Zero in this region, to sort of get that up close feel of what that thing actually is.
Exploring the Illuvium universe in multiple ways, whether that's
Exactly.
whether that's a town builder game or whether that's an overworld experience. Very, very cool. And here's the exit of the hearth and entrance to Transphere.
Yeah.
Looks like we're getting a bit more lush plant life in this
Yeah.
area, not being killed by the cold.
Exactly. So this is on the north side of the mountain. Something sort of like cracked open. The ice cracked open, and it sort of created this. How would you say, like a safe zone from the wind and the cold. Maybe it's also closer to a heat source, like the heart that you just saw, because that's sort of like behind that entrance that you're seeing there.
Mm-hmm.
And this is actually one of the only areas in all of Taiga Boreal that there's grass and there's plants and there's actual life living here. That's not icy. So,
And then
these are
here's the
some of those.
sanctuary. Like we mentioned earlier, it's a cold, lifeless mountain. But here, We have a sanctuary,
Yeah.
almost rainbow-esque element here to kind of drive the point home. But
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. And he's a very very weird kind of area. The blue flowers that you see, I think, are called wolfbane, and it wouldn't be Illuvium if they wouldn't try to kill you. So
Yep. Everything's trying to murder you. The more beautiful it is, the more it's trying to murder you.
yeah.
Ain't that how it is? There it is. Guys, holy moly, was that incredible.